Please join the journey. I need your help to make Duo a reality.
I love this bag. The main reason for me to love it so is its size. It's not big and cumbersome and heavy, and I plan to use it in traveling. Well, I think there are a lot of women my age who would appreciate this bag. Its size is just so convenient, and its interior is so convenient for us. We've all had yarns get tangled and had such a time untangling them. I think this is the answer for us, particularly women who are mobile and on the go a lot as I am.
As a yarn shop owner, I have heard many things over the years about what people do and don't like in a knitting bag, so I decided to launch my own line of knitting bags. The brand is Lori Lane, and the bag is Duo. Duo is a small project bag, primarily for sock knitters, but also for any small to medium-sized project. Many of the things that I've heard over the years that people really want in a knitting bag is a bag that will stand on its own even when empty. They don't want a bag that will, when they set it down, fall over. So I have made sure that Duo has enough stability built into the bag that it does stand on its own when empty. Zippers and yarn are not friends. Zippers can often eat yarn and make a mess of projects. So I have designed this bag with 0 zippers. We have a spring frame, which is an actual metal frame that is sewn into the bag. The frame is made up of 2 metal plates, which have hinges on the ends and a pin that holds the pieces together. The hinge has 2 positions that it can be in. It can either be in the open or in the shut position. So the frame can either be locked open or locked shut. And to close or open, you simply have to pull it to the open or close position. The bag also has 2 yarn slings, which are designed to hold balls of yarn in place to avoid them from rolling around and getting tangled. Often when one works with socks or mittens or anything where you're doing 2 at a time, you have 2 balls of yarn attached to your projects. And it's very easy in a bag for the balls of yarn to get tangled and have to untangle them. So the yarn slings keep your balls secure, and it also helps with the center pulling ball so that it doesn't get all tangled. The yarn slings can hold fairly large size balls. They can easily hold a 100-gram of worsted weight or even 150-gram ball of sock yarn. While Duo is designed as a knitting bag for socks, it does hold 2 sets of double-pointed needles. It can be used for any small or medium-sized project up to about 3 100-gram balls of yarn. It's great for baby sweaters, leg warmers, hats, scarves, or even for starting larger projects. I like to start my sweaters in a Duo, and once it's too big, transfer it to a larger bag. Because of the 2 yarn ball slings, Duo is great for color work. You can easily hold each color that you are working with in its own ball and not have it get super tangled by the 2 colors rolling around on the bottom of your bag. One thing that I've heard over and over is that a bag has to have straps that are long enough to put the bag on easily with one hand. You often have either multiple bags or something else that you're carrying, and people like to be able to pick the bag up and sling it onto their shoulder without having to use a second hand to do so. With Duo, we make sure that all of our linings are light enough that the bottom of the bag can easily be seen. Often you'll get a bag that has a black lining in it, and then when you try to find things in the bottom of your bag, you lose them. It's really hard to see. So we make sure that none of our linings are dark. There are 2 additional pockets for stitch markers or snips or tape measure or ruler. You can also put your wallet or cell phone if you're using it as a project/purse. Duo is made of upholstery weight fabric. It is heavy and durable, and the lining is a tightly woven fabric as well. It is 100% polyester shantung. Duo's spring frame design enables you to knit while the bag is closed, which is really amazing and fun because you can wear the bag and just pull your knitting out through the top of the bag and knit while you're at the market or walking down the street, or if you're going to a crafts festival. Because of using the spring frame, you don't have to have a grommet system. Many bags that are set up to be able to be worn while knitting have a grommet system where you have to run your yarn through the grommet to the outside of the bag. Duo doesn't use this, so if you want to remove your knitting from the bag that it's in for any reason, you can without having to cut the yarn to get it out of the grommet. I have designed Duo to accommodate the needs of knitters so that when you leave home and when you get to your knit group, your yarn and project is exactly where you have left it. Your yarn is secured, your needles are secured, and you don't have a mess, a tangle that you have to deal with when you arrive at knitting. You can pick up exactly where you left off. Currently, I have 2 patterns picked out for Duo fabric. However, down the line, I plan on adding and expanding to the colorway selections, including some solid colors and some subtler prints. Duo, while designed to hold 2 balls of yarn, can easily work with projects that only use 1 ball of yarn. The yarn ball loops can easily be pressed up against the side of the bag, making additional space for your project when not being in use. Duo will be sewn in the US. I do have some materials that are imported and some materials that are domestic. However, the actual production of the bag will be in the US. I did have a sock bag that I created almost 7 years ago, which was the very basics of Duo. It had the DPN loops, and that's really all that it had in similarity with Duo, but I did start from that design, and over the last 2 years I have really researched. I've done surveys, I have talked to people, I have done research on also production and what materials would be best and how to produce it and where to produce it. And it's been a long process, and I'm very excited to come this far. Duo has had many, many prototypes, and I am very happy with the final design.
Please take a moment to share this page with your friends. Thank you for all your help. Please join the journey. I need your help to make Duo a reality.